So let's stay inwardly focused and just check in and notice what's in the system tonight. Just what you're bringing in physically, emotionally, mentally. The intention of this meditation is to expand out beyond the experience that's taking place in these koshas. To acknowledge that we are so much more than the experience that's taking place right now, without denying the experience or dishonoring the experience in any way. So notice that the nature of experience is that it's always changing. Now, it is true that perhaps in the last 3 weeks there has been kind of a chronic sense of anxiety in the atmosphere, of sadness, of overwhelm, even of despair. And there still may be some of that energy in your system. That's totally fine. What's important is that we can recognize that we're not defined by this. We may be experiencing something in a certain way, and it's important to touch in on our nature that is so much more than this. So, to begin the process, let yourself begin to breathe a little more slowly and fully and deeply. It's amazing how a shallow kind of breath, a repressed kind of breath, keeps us stuck in a default kind of consciousness that identifies with experience. So a very simple intervention is to let your breath get slower and fuller and deeper. Relax the pelvic floor. Relax the belly. Let the belly expand as you breathe in, the diaphragm drop down, descend. The breath fill the belly up first, as it were, and then rise up into the chest. At the top of the inhalation, even lifting the chest and the clavicles. Be very attentive to all the very subtle aspects of the breathing process. If you're not already doing this, sit up nice and straight. Once we've completely filled with breath, you might just pause for a moment at the top of the inhalation, absorbing the prana. And then exhale from the chest down. Empty out of the chest, empty out through the ribs, empty out in the belly. And at the very bottom of the exhalation, pull the navel back in toward the spine. And then relax and drink in your next inhalation. This should require some effort to breathe in this way, but no strain. So notice the effects of breathing like this. Not only notice the mechanics, but notice the effects. Is there some resistance? Does it loosen up some emotional intensity? Does it begin to dissipate some of the experience that you were focused on at the beginning? Just notice. No expectation, just notice what happens. See if it can help you to become a little more sharply aware. Stay with it. Even when the mind would say, oh, okay, that's enough. Let's just go a little longer. Really drinking in the oxygen and prana. And really letting go of whatever toxins, whatever energies are ready to be released with the exhalation. Four more full breaths like this. And then as you come back to a normal rhythm of breathing, be very aware of the effect of the practice and see if it has created a little more space around the energies that you were watching at the beginning. See if it's created a little more expansiveness. The energies may still be present, but see if the breathing hasn't opened up some space around it. Now, let's do some alternate nostril breathing. We're wanting to see how these very old yogic practices, the effect that they have, so that not only do we see I'm not my experience, because my experience changes as I do these practices, but we can also become confident in our ability to work with our states of mind and not be victimized by them. All right, alternate nostril breathing, we'll use the right hand, tuck the index finger and the middle finger away. You'll use the right thumb to block your right nostril, the ring finger and little finger to block your left nostril. Okay, so we're going to use the same kind of very full and complete breath pattern with a pause at the top of the inhalation. And as you pause at the top of the inhalation, really concentrate your attention in the third eye between the brows. All right, let's begin by blocking the right nostril and breathing in full and deeply through the left. Slow, full, deep inhalation, and then at the top, pause, hold the breath, concentrate in the third eye. And then block the left nostril and breathe out through the right. Let it all go. And then breathe in through the right, slow, full, and deep. Pause at the top, as though you could go on breathing in. Keep that open, expansive feel. And then breathe out through the left nostril. Breathe in left. Hold. Expand. Breathe out right. Breathe in right. Hold and expand. Breathe out left. Breathe in left. Hold and expand. Relax the right arm so there's little tension in it as you hold these nostrils. Breathe out left. Breathe in left. Hold. Breathe out left. Breathe in left. Breathe out right. Breathe in right. Breathe out left. Breathe in left. Breathe out right. Breathe in right. Breathe out left. And relax. Let your breath return to its normal rhythm and be aware of the effects of the practice. Notice, if you feel it, a greater sense of openness and expansiveness, a greater sense of stillness, silence, but awake awareness. Notice what effects it may have had on the energies that you began the meditation by observing. Now let's do one more pranayama exercise. This is a little bit more vigorous. This takes some energy. And again, some of you come from a long day of work and you're fatigued and it's like, oh, do we have to do this? What I want you to see is how you don't have to remain in any state. You can work with your physical, emotional, and mental states through these various practices. So even though this exercise is going to take a little energy, it's going to give you more energy and greater clarity. So this is the one we do where we breathe in through clenched teeth. I'm going to demonstrate it for you. You'll breathe in through clenched teeth. Your tongue will be on the roof of your mouth behind the teeth. Breathe in through clenched teeth and out through the nose. Breathe in vigorously through clenched teeth and out just in a relaxed fashion. So let me demonstrate it for you. Okay, you get the idea? Clenched teeth, mouth, the tongue is on the roof of the mouth, just above the upper teeth. Now, because we're really sucking in a lot of oxygen, it will feel like, wow, am I going to hyperventilate? Am I going to get dizzy? That won't happen. You may get a little dizzy because of the extra oxygen. But at the end of the practice, when I ask you to be still, you're going to notice that just for a bit, you won't even have to breathe. You'll have saturated the body with oxygen. You won't have to breathe. And you'll be able to sit in this exquisite stillness and spaciousness. All right, so here we go. In through clenched teeth, out through the nose. We'll do about 20, 21 rounds. 3, 2, 1. Just be still, be utterly still and relaxed. Don't let the body move. There's no need to breathe. You are pure awareness. Stay focused in the heart center, in a sense of stillness and spaciousness there in the heart. At the center of the heart, visualize a flame of light. and go into that flame. So as you sit, you're visualizing being in the center of this flame that is the center, the core, the essence of the heart. And just for a moment, let the idea of having or being a body fall away. Of having or being a role or a name, a certain distinguishing identity. Let all that go, just for a moment. And be the light, this flame of light at the center of the heart. Sit in this flame at the center of the heart, as though this flame of light were the nature of the universe, as though it's all there is just this brilliant, radiant, pulsating light. And you're sitting in the center of it. And it is your own essence, your own core and essence. It's the heart of your heart. And simultaneously, it's the nature of all things. Mind wanders, bring it back into this flame of light. Whenever mind wanders off, gently redirect it and bring it back into this flame of light. Feeling yourself to be sitting in its center. And then for a moment, making this quantum leap, this shift from being a separate self, sitting in this flame of universal light, to being the light. Let yourself just forget your separate self for a moment and just be this radiant, pulsating light, this infinite intelligence, this profound and unconditional love, this utter and complete bliss. Then take a nice deep breath. Feel the way that the body is being supported by the chair. But don't snap back too quickly into the familiar experience of being a separate self. See if you can, even as you kind of bring yourself around and begin to open your eyes and move the body, see if you can hold that sense, not cling or grasp at it, but just hold the sense of being more open and spacious, of vibrating with and as light. A feeling the light at the center of the heart as the center of your being, your core, your essence. In spite of what else may be there in the heart, emotion and all kinds of stuff might be there, at the heart of the heart, at the core of the heart, there's this great purity and infinite wisdom and deep and profound love. This presence that feels to the ego as other than you, but through practice and exploration and meditation, we discover, soham, I am that.